most in-depth and probably the best methodology. He's sitting someplace in the high 40s, and Romney's sitting someplace in the low 40s. And when I am doing active campaigns, that feels like too close for comfort to me. Not so much because I think it's subject to two things that Romney can deploy. One is vast amounts of money, particularly through the new feature of American politics, so-called super PACs, which I think will be a factor in this campaign, or because he plausibly can argue that he has a stronger economic policy. But it puts, I think, the president in a position where an external shock can upend a race with a structure that's built in like that. The good news, I think, for Obama is that his bottom is high. He retains very, very strong support amongst the core of the people who brought him to office in 2008. He's getting about 80% of the vote amongst minorities, which are an increasing share of the American electorate. It was about 25% in 2004. It's likely to be about 28% in 2008. Most of that grows in the Hispanic community. He maintains a very strong advantage amongst Latino voters in the U.S. He doesn't have the astronomical numbers he had amongst young people that he had in 2008, but he has a very strong advantage amongst young people. And he has probably a 20-point advantage amongst unmarried women across the board. So the structure of the people who my friend Stan Greenberg has dubbed the rising American electorate, the parts of the demography of the U.S. that are growing remains solid. So his floor is pretty high, but it's not 50. And so he's susceptible, I think, to a competitive race, one that'll be well-funded, and he'll have to work hard to win re-election. Again, I just repeat myself. I think without an external shock, the natural trajectory of this race is that Obama will both win the popular vote and is on track to win a significant vote in the Electoral College.
I mean, as we experienced here in Britain, the incumbency can be a big advantage, but it's also a big burden to carry. How is
President France is experiencing that as well?
Yes, yeah. Well, we'll see in two weeks quite how it goes. But at the moment, President Obama's numbers are following the gas price. I mean, as price of petrol goes up or down, so how is he going to combat that problem of incumbency? What will his message be? I understand the message is we can't wait, which strikes me as a little bit ethereal. But what is he going to be saying to people? Why re-elect?
The we can't wait element is essentially a push off on the dysfunctionality of Washington. I'll come back to that because I don't think that's the central part of his message. I think what he's offering is a fair deal for the middle class. He after kind of doing a tango with John Boehner and the House Republicans for the better part of 2011, I think he came out of the experience of the summer where they tried to get a big deal on a kind of fiscal structure for the United States with extending the debt limit and a smaller package of fiscal consolidation. I think he came out of that thinking that a more full-throated argument about his direction for the economy was necessary. He began that right after Labor Day in September, gave an important speech in December in Osawatomie, Kansas, which is the historical, he went there because it's where Teddy Roosevelt gave what became his platform speech for his run as a progressive. It's kind of the birthplace of the progressive argument in 1911. And he made the argument that inequality was growing, that the American people needed a fairer economy, that had to start with a fairer tax system and the right kind of investments to give opportunity for the middle class. And I think that he is going to prosecute that argument in the course of this campaign. I think he has a pretty good foil in Romney, in part for two reasons. One, not just because he's wealthy and pays a lower percentage of his taxation because of all the ways in which he can avoid taxes in the U.S. Than the average, at least upper middle class American, or middle class American really. But because Romney has really doubled down on the theory that I think got the country in trouble, which is that if we do nothing but cut taxes for the wealthiest Americans, somehow good things will happen. Bush tried that in 2001, 2003. It didn't work out so good. And I think that this is a structured argument about who's going to fight for the middle class and who has an economic program that is likely to benefit the middle class. So I think that's the core of the campaign. The "we can't wait" argument is about the use of executive power because the Congress is so frozen and so unpopular. They can't get anything done, and his argument is, I'm not going to, I spent a long time trying to negotiate with a bunch of people who are rejectionists, nihilists, reject everything, can't get their own work done, and I'm not going to wait around for them to kind of figure out that even as they sit with job approvals at 8 or 9, people worry about Obama's job approval rating at 49%. The congressional job approval rating is at, some polls have it at 9, others more generous have it at 12. So, there's a distance there, and I think he'll use the foil of a very ineffective Republican leadership in the House, the way, kind of reminiscent of.
So running against Gingrich, is it the way that Clinton did?
Clinton ran against Gingrich. Yeah. Truman ran against the Do Nothing Congress. Yeah. And I think it's effective because it's true. Because they effectively can't get anything done for the American people.
But do you think the media will characterize it